Back in 2022, we sat down and ran the actual numbers of our company, and we found out that we only had 4 weeks left before we were going to be forced to close the doors. That's 4 weeks. A business that's doing 7 figures today. We built that. It wasn't a bad economy, wasn't a bad break. We built it brick by brick without ever meaning to do so. So today, I want to walk you through exactly what we built, because I don't think we're the only ones who've built something like this. I call them the 4 traps: calendar, decision, knowledge, and identity. 3 of them are about what you do. The 4th one is about who you think you are, and it's the one that tends to keep the other 3 locked in place even after you know better. By the end of this, you're going to know which one has you, and it's probably more than one if we're honest. The first one, the calendar trap. Your calendar owns you instead of the other way around. And look, I still catch myself in this one day to day. Recently, I was sitting in a meeting with our marketing contractor. They're walking through lead numbers, campaign performance, the usual updates. And about halfway through, I just stopped and thought, I'm not even the one that deals with this on a day to day. My assistant is. So why am I the one in the meeting? The honest answer is habit and maybe a little bit of control. The meeting existed, so I showed up. My presence, though, wasn't really adding anything. I worked with an owner. I'm going to call him Daniel. His shop manager had been in the seat for over a year and a half, and Daniel is still the one who gets called out on his days off. He's still the one who shows up when the crew has questions they don't have answers to themselves. His goal is to retire at 50. He told me straight up, if money weren't an object, he'd walk away from the business today. His calendar didn't look like a CEO's calendar. It looked like a truck route with meetings stuffed between the stops. So this is the test. Look at your next 2 weeks. For every recurring meeting, ask yourself, does this require me specifically or just someone in the function? If the answer is just someone, you've already found a bar in your cage. So now the second one, the decision trap. This is the one that has been eating me the most lately. So consider this. I had a client, let's call her Sarah, and she described this better than I ever have. She had taken her firm from about $20,000 a month to over $50,000 a month in just under about 2 years. This was real growth. And by the time that she said this to me, she'd already moved the tasks off of her desk. The work was gone. What was left, in her words, was everything had been coming through me. Judgment, decision-making, not just the tasks. And she needed the filter to feel clean again. So this is the thing that we don't always want to hear about, this one. It's operant conditioning, and it's running whether you want it to or not. The team brings you a problem. You solve it. The 2 things get reinforced at once. They get relief, and you get a little dopamine hit for being competent. Both sides walk away rewarded. Do that a few dozen times, and it's baked into that relationship. This week, one of my team members messaged me asking why her calendar was filling up with discovery calls that should have gone to somebody else. My first thought was, did you ask the person that was booking the meetings? Did you try to solve it yourself? The answer was no. And it's not because they can't. It was because that's what they've been trained to do. Not by instruction, but by pattern. Being good at something doesn't mean that you should keep doing it. Every problem that I solve for my team is a lesson in dependency. I'm not building problem solvers. I'm building problem reporters. And that one, it's on me. The third one here is the knowledge trap. Critical information that lives only in your head. I realize I am still guilty of this one. Pricing logic, client history, why things are a certain way. If I disappeared tomorrow, my team would be guessing at half of it. And the reason is simple. Knowledge accumulates faster than it transfers, especially when you're learning fast yourself. You're drinking from a fire hose. There's no time to stop and write it down. But this is the one where AI actually changes the math for this. Today, the loop is talk in your phone for 10 minutes. Run that transcript through an AI with a prompt that says, turn this into an SOP for my team that they can follow. And you've got your first draft in just a couple of minutes. I used this exact loop to pull years of hiring logic out of my mentor's head in a single afternoon. Sat down, asked him questions, he talked, the AI structured it, and now our team has a playbook that anyone can run. If you're still telling yourself that you don't have time to document things, that excuse is expired. So now the fourth trap, the identity trap. This is the deepest one, and it's where the other three go to hide once you start dismantling them. So I was sitting on the sidelines of a coaching engagement where I wasn't personally running. One of our coaches had a client who really wasn't moving forward, and I heard the client tell their coach they were out of money and just wanted to pause. Every part of me wanted to jump in on that conversation. I've had that exact conversation numerous times. I could see three things that the coach couldn't see, and there was revenue on the line if I didn't step in. But here's the actual honest reason of why I wanted to jump in. And it's not that the client would have been better off. Someone else on my team could get the same outcome if I let them. The honest reason is that being the one who saves the account is the version of value that I recognize fastest. And it's the shortest distance between what I do and feeling like I'm worth what I'm paid. And every time I take the save, I confirm the identity. The identity confirms the behavior. I haven't caught myself outside of the loop. I've just run one more lap inside of it. What's actually fixed, some of the time, is setting ownership before the moment arrives. Whose outcome is this? Whose task is this? If those two things are named ahead of time, I can hold myself back. If they're not, my hands are already twitching towards the keyboard to jump in and take over. So back in 2022, 4 weeks from shutting down, we stared at that cash flow forecast and we had to face something really uncomfortable. We built every piece of it ourselves. The hiring decisions, the lack of training, the cash flow blindness, avoiding the hard conversations. We were not victims of bad luck. We were the architects of our own traps. That's the thing about all four of these: calendar, decision, knowledge, identity. Nobody did this to you. You built the cage because some part of it feels safe. Being needed feels good. Having the answers feels good. But control isn't freedom, and importance isn't impact. So here's what I want you to do. Don't try to fix all four this week. Pick the one that's actually running you the most right now. Not the one that sounds impressive to go work on, and take one action that loosens its grip. I built a free 4-trap self-assessment, and it's linked below. It takes about 5 minutes, and it'll tell you exactly which trap has the tightest grip on you today. And if you want the full breakdown, this is chapter 2 of my book, The Ownership Advantage. It comes out this September. Get on the wait list. The link for that is below too. If you built the prison, you can unbuild it. That's what the rest of this is all about.